What's up? It's Dre and the Introvert in Denial on EMIP TV, and this is the video you wanted to see. I'm really excited to do this video because we're going to talk about Schneider, the IC program, on how I really felt. Now, she's with me because she was my dispatcher. She was on the load board more than me, you know, because I'm trying to drive the truck and do all that other trucking stuff, and she was always constantly searching that load board for good freight, right? For my next load. Yeah. You know, to hook me up, and she'll cue me in on something, and either I'll tell her to book it or I'll go ahead and book it myself. So we're gonna talk about some bullet points that these are my opinions, okay? So it's, if you could sit there, you can write in the comments, oh, I totally disagree, this is blah, 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 blah. This is just my opinion, this is the way I felt, this is the way she felt. And some of the stuff we might actually feel different. So we're gonna start with the first question that a lot of people wanna know before they even come to the program, because you see it out there. Can you make $4,000 to $5,000 in revenue a week? Can you?
No.
All right, wait. I'm gonna go ahead and add that. You can. It's not easy. People is doing it. I see them on Facebook. You know, that's the only time I see it, because I did it. I did over 4,000. What? About how many times?
A few times, a handful of times.
And then with the miles, when I did do like 40, I think my highest was 51, something like that. 51. How many miles did I have for that week?
Like 3,600.
Yeah, I mean, I was like running my, and it was 70 hours burnt down to the damn last minute. 3,600 miles run. You might say, hey, you wasn't running smart. You trying to run miles. You wasn't thinking smart. I know all that stuff. You're not telling me nothing new, but I'm just telling you what I feel, that to make that kind of money, you got to run your ass off. Now, some people also, now remember, I didn't run in the Northeast where all the money's at. Okay, I ran Midwest. I did do some PA, a little Kentucky, and Indiana. Yeah, and I didn't go to Tennessee too much. But basically, I see it on Facebook, and when I see it on Facebook, people posting to buy $6,000. We don't know if they was getting. It doesn't say if they got any kind of bonuses or whatever. We just don't know all that stuff. All I'm saying is, my opinion. It's very, very, very hard to do, and you definitely can't do it on a consistent basis. The loads gotta line up right. Mm-hmm. And everything just needs to line up for you to make that kind of money, and you're probably not going to have a lot of home time doing it. I know people's doing it, say, "Oh, I made $5,000-$6,000. I'm home every other day and the weekends." I just don't believe that. I don't believe it. You might make that kind of money, maybe you'll prove it. I don't think you're home that much, but who knows? I didn't run up there in Maine and New York and Connecticut, the DC area. I didn't do all that stuff. So
Yeah, in order to be home every other day, you would have to be running in your own city, almost, right?
For the most part, you're not really getting out there.
And then if you're home every weekend, you're really not going too far during those other 3 or 4 days that you're out.
Yeah, because a lot of times now, I could have grossed 4+ on the regular, maybe, but I was home on the weekend, so I was home on the weekends, and I would be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? Yeah. So, but it would still, even if I was home, like I almost was out of hours to run.
There was one time he only had 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta shut down. You know what I mean? So, can you make it? I'm gonna say yes, you can, but it ain't gonna be easy, okay? Mm-hmm. It's hard. A lot of people's leaving Schneider program. I don't know if they're gonna be leaving to try to make 6, 7, 8,000, or are they leaving because they're not making 4,000 to 5,000? Are they trying to get better, or are they not making what they're making? I don't know. So that's my first one. So let's talk about loads. Loads. Schneider's freight base is huge. I did a video on that. Check it out right there. I'll try to link it up if I remember. Schneider got a lot of freight, but how much freight can the ICs pull?
I don't know. It depends on who's looking at the load board.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But Schneider has specific freight for ICs. You know, and I don't know what makes them say we'll have the ICs pull that. You know, usually you go to places, there's usually a lot of ICs there. You rarely go to places, in my opinion, where there's a lot of company drivers there. It seems like the company drivers got their own little place, the IC's got their place, and if you have a book a load and there's a bunch of company drivers, you're probably not even getting the good money on that.
No.
Because I don't know. I'm just saying, you will find yourself deadheading a lot and passing major facilities that Schneider ships out of because you just can't pick up there. You know, it's just nothing on the load board there. You know, Louisville, I can leave here, tons of loads in a Louisville yard, there ain't nothing on the load board. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of that freight. I can look at the bills and see where they're going. I can't pick them. You know what I mean? I might have to go all the way to Indianapolis to find a load leaving Louisville, a good load. I mean, I might be able to find a cheesy load, but a good load.
Most times you were deadheading.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of deadheading compared with Schneider freight base. You shouldn't have to deadhead far, but you do. Mm-hmm. I mean, Schneider got freight all over the place. But it's when you're on a load board, they don't have freight all over the place. That's the part I don't like. That's the part that made me go to Schneider. Because I was like, you know what? I don't need to pick off a public load board. Schneider's got crazy loads. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be fun. But I got on a load board now. It's kind of sparse. It just depends on the area you're at. You can get to areas where you got to deadhead hundreds of miles away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That. Yeah, I mean, or pick this 80-cent load going this way or that way. You got to make decisions out there. Do you pick that? You mess around with that load, or you just get out of there and get a better load? You know, that's the decisions you have to make. So, anyone talk about loads?
Yeah, I want to talk about that load board.
All right, so let's talk about how many loads can you book in a day? Because that's where you can make the money, right? You book short loads. Short loads is the key. You go boom, boom, get the next load, boom, boom, get that next load, boom, boom. End of the day, you done made $1,000, right? 7 days a week, $7,000 gross. You can book loads like that.
Realistically, now.
Yeah, so you try to string up some loads. How does that work?
Well, it depends on if the delivery time is going to match up with the time that it takes to get there or the unload time. Yeah, it didn't work out.
See, a lot of times you might have to pick up a load, a little short load, 100 miles, delivers the next day.
The next day at 11 p.m.
Yeah, or something like 2 p.m. Or you might pick up...
and it's a drop and hook even. Drop and hook even.
So it's like, you can't really... There's not many. Now, it was when I first started, but as I left, it was almost none. I want to say maybe 10% or less, where you pick up the same day and could deliver it the same day.
Yeah.
I rarely seen those. There was some short load you pick up today, you can't even deliver tomorrow. You got to deliver the day after tomorrow. You know, and they want you to sit on the load for damn near 2 days and you're making $400. That's $200 a day. You add that up, you extrapolate, you're not going to make enough revenue. You did great with the cents per mile, but you need to make revenue because you got big bills that require big revenue. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if you was profitable or not. You better come up with that 12, 13, 1400, whatever you need at the end of the week. And booking a couple profitable loads that take 2-3 days to deliver, you ain't gonna make it. Yeah. So you gotta let some of those loads go and book cheap loads. It seems like they were steering you towards cheaper freight. Because the cheap loads, you can deliver those all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Because one of those cities, I mean, you could book about 3 or 4 of them in one day. I mean, of course, you would have to drive back and forth, Do you remember that? It was like maybe 30 miles of
Cincinnati and Lexington?
I don't remember. No, I thought it was.
But the way it was.
But still, the way it was set up, though, is you could do it, but you were only still making maybe 300 that day.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. You could see loads like, oh man, there could be a bunch of loads even the same. Oh, if I could just do that, I could deadhead, go back and get another one. They just don't line up that way, and you just can't pick that back to back to back. You're gonna pick one and you're gonna sit on it, and then maybe there'll be another one for you to get the next day, but you don't got time for that. So that's why I tried to make. I want to make $700 to $800 a day, regardless. Mm-hmm. That's when I made the most money. Might not have been the smartest running, but that's what put the most money in my pocket, because the load board just wasn't set up to make money like that. From what I understand, talking to some of the older people, it used to be. But I couldn't find it, and I don't know what the guys that are posting 6 and 7, I don't know what they're doing, and they're not going to say because they don't want you to go up into their gravy train and take it, because then they ain't going to be making 3,000-4,000. You know what I mean? So I don't even understand why people is not saying how they do it. They just saying, look what I did. They ain't going to tell you how, because you're going to go up there and ruin their little
take
setup.
some of their,
you know. All right, so let's talk about, after all that, is the load board fixed?
Yes.
Just, yeah, you have to think about it.
Everyone knows it is. Of course, I mean, some people are too scared to say it because, you know, the big orange is listening, but it is fixed.
And I was afraid to say it. I was afraid to kind of be honest with my opinion at times when I was out there, because I thought
they'll yank them.
The board will just be nothing there.
But there were several times that, I mean, whenever he first started, though, it was so easy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy to book these loads to. But then, as time went, I think whenever he first made that first 5,100, they said, oops, we didn't mean for him to make that much. And then they started pulling the loads.
There's no loads, there's canceled loads. I do believe when you first start. Yeah, I do believe when you first start, the load board is wide open. It's wide open. They want you to kind of get used to it, bring you in, see how the freight runs, and after you kind of getting used to it, they start pulling the switches down, you know, making you work a little harder or whatever. This is my beliefs, okay? This is just what Andre thinks of, okay? This is not factual stuff. This is our opinion. My opinion. And everybody has opinions.
Yes.
That's right. So this is my opinion. I ain't got no facts, okay? But this is my opinion. This is my opinion from working the load board, for doing it for 13 months and seeing what's going on, to talking to other drivers and kind of getting that.
And the load boards are completely different.
Well, I wasn't able to prove that when we hooked up with Shy City.
I still say that it is.
But I think it's because we was in the same location.
But the things that were... I don't know. It was different.
And you do talk to some people, and they be on the phone like, yeah, I was looking in the same city, and that load wasn't there, and this load's there. So you do hear people talking about it. Then you hear people say, no, it's not fixed. It's all fair game out here. I don't know about that. Now, because they can easily say, hey, you know, you mess up a load, or you're not going to do any more P&G loads no more. How can they do that, right? They turn it off your board. Yeah. So if they can do that, they probably messing around with other things. You get on the bad boy list, or you start doing something they don't like.
And those red switch. What is the red switch?
The critical events. The critical events. Like that. You know, you watch how your revenue just change.
Yeah. Or if you make too much revenue too many times in a row.
Right. It just changes. And the time that I did make great revenue, wasn't it just easy? It was like somehow the switches was up.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like,
everything was lining up.
No, this is great. Yeah. Oh my God. You just turn on the load board, a couple of, like, oh, look at that. Boom, 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 book it.
Yeah.
And there was times that you just can't. Something is not right with that picture. Something is not right. Okay, I was out there trying to figure out and get hard facts. I couldn't do it. So all I could do is share my opinion now. I'm not driving that truck no more, but there's something going on with that load board. A lot of people that leave, they say the same thing. And you do like your Schneider fanboys out there that's like, hey, no, it's all fair game out here, man. You just don't know how to run. And I know some of you guys are going to put that in. You didn't know how to run. I know how to run. I made good money. I didn't have one negative check. I pulled, even when I was off for a week, I had a check.
You had a check.
So I know how to run. I mean, I've been in the game for a long time. But this company drive is different. And let me tell you something also. You shouldn't have to have no bills. This is something I wanted to talk about. You shouldn't have to have, for you to make it, you need low bills at home. You need to, not have any child support going on and all of this other stuff. Let me tell you something about a business. You have a business so you can get that stuff at home. You want that nice car, that bigger house, that nice TV and all that stuff because the business is cash flowing like that. You shouldn't have to have a business that only works because you got low expenses at home. Mm-hmm. That's not how it should work. You get the business so you can get more stuff at home because the business is cash flowing. There's no cash flow. There's no cash flow. You make enough cash to pay your expenses at home, and maybe you have a little bit of money. This is why I didn't do it. I felt the risk I was taking on of having an accident, putting me down, or whatever, truck breakdown, all of that stuff. It could break you like that. No matter how much money you have in the bank. You go to that dealership or whatever, and they say, you need this, this, and this, and this. You're going to write a big-ass check. And all that money you thought you was kind of saving is gone. Start all over. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. I mean, this is almost a separate video. You know what I mean? Of business. You have business to grow your business. You should be able to grow. Get one truck, two truck, put another driver in it, and he's making money, and you still making money. You put another driver in one of these trucks, you're either gonna pay him pennies or you're gonna make nothing. And all you're doing is trying to get equity in the truck.
And the risk is still there.
And the risk is still there. Suppose he abandons that truck, says, you know what, I'm out of here. You're going to lose that load. You got to go get that truck. Oh, my God.
The negative money.
So the little bit of money that you was making off him every week, it could be gone like that as soon as he abandons that truck. You know, Jeffrey Light talks about this stuff. And I remember Jeffrey Light and SoCal was going back and forth. And they both put out pretty good content. I understand Jeffrey L. Because the difference between SoCal and Jeffrey L calculated risk in his equations that the other drivers don't see. You have to calculate risk because the risks are there. Because when that risk happens to you and you ain't calculated, you're gonna fail. Mm-hmm. So I found an opportunity to get out, and I got out, and I'll talk about that in a future video. All right, so let's talk about. You went on the road with me, right?
Yes.
You had a good time?
I did.
Well, we stopped in this OC called in Lodz, Ohio. It's the Lodz OC in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
What about Lodz?
Oh my gosh.
Lodz. I don't know how to pronounce it right.
You know, for a how much money does Schneider pull
Billions.
in? Billions. For a multi-billion-dollar company. Why is it? For one, I'm a female. I can't use that Lodz OC. Women, we have to wash properly. We can't just do a prostitute's bath, lot lizard bath. We can't do that. We can't do that. And there is not any accommodations there for any type of driver. That unisex bathroom, it was disgusting. The soda machines, half of them didn't even work. And then whenever the ones did work, it was hot.
Or maybe even out of date.
Oh, yeah, out of date. Mm-hmm. And then, they have the little computers over there in the back, but you can't log on to anything except, what was it?
I think it was down that day.
Oh.
Yeah, that day it was down.
Okay, well, it gave me a bad impression. And here, we had been to other OCs that were nice.
You've been to the Indy OC. Now, a lot of the OCs that I went to look alike. Like, the Carlisle looks just like Indy, looks just like West Memphis. What other OCs did I go to? I think that's it.
But
Indy. Yeah, I said Indy.
But that particular OC gave me a bad impression.
Right. So she went to the Indy one, and she went to the Lodz, and the Indy is not the impression.
No,
that
and the Indy one, it was very accommodating.
It's the Lodz. It's gravel.
I cannot believe
yard.
that.
I've seen several times I've seen ICs with flats, steer flats.
And then that's something that y'all have to take out of your MMA account to pay for because they're not going to cover it.
Right. So potholes. It's a terrible yard. It's a terrible yard. They need to put some of that money that they make in that cash flow. Because let me tell you, Schneider's growing their business, and if you on with them, you should be able to grow your business
too. Yeah.
If you're not growing your business, be able to grow it, you might want to find another option.
You have to cut ties.
Yeah, you're gonna have to cut ties. Your businesses are meant to grow,
You're pretty much paying for their truck. If you're leasing from them, you're pretty much paying for their truck, and then you're not gonna have anything.
Right.
And
they're saving all that money on you from the employee taxes, not paying you benefits and all that stuff, and you're hooking them up, getting their kind of tires they want on that 16-ply tire. and not being able to use that money like I said.
And you did a video about that.
I did a video about that, and I'll try to remember and put those videos in the link, or just go back and check out my other videos where I talk about that stuff. And I know you could bring your own truck. Mm-hmm. You will probably do better, but this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, the business should be profitable enough where you can get a loan on a truck and can make those payments easily and can support your family and your loved ones at home and still grow your business to where you have 2 trucks, 3 trucks, 4 trucks. Maybe you get out and you got employed. It should be doing that well. But if it's not, there's a problem there. This is how I'm thinking. This is me, Dre. So
well, because the risk you're taking, you should not be getting paid like a company driver because you're a business owner.
Speaking of that, I met a couple of company drivers. They want to know about the IC program. I get on the app. I show them. I sit there and show them my pays for this week. Some of them make more than me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks what I make. I'm like, really? Yeah, and I'm home nights, and I'm off on the weekends, and I'm like, where you run? And this is the stuff that they have out there, and I just I almost feel like a jerk. I'm like, but I can go home when I want to. There, you can't do that. That's all I got to stand on. Well, I can go home. Ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Who cares? And that's. Just think about it. I just want you to think about the risk in your profits, what you're taking home, and what a company driver takes home with no risk and even benefits. Right? So let's sum it up. Should you lease to the Schneider IC program? Right after all that stuff I said, I'm gonna still say yes. I think it's hard to say yes. Do I gotta change my mind? What do you think?
No, I don't think you should. Only because
oh my God.
You have all the risk. You're paying for their truck. The MMA account, that's not your money, even though it's your money that you are driving to earn.
Now, some people say you don't have to participate in the MMA account.
Yes, you do.
I believe you do, unless you have
your own truck or something.
The first year lease, you can complete that or something, and then I think they let you do it on your own or something like that.
But still, that's still a smart business person would set that money aside. They wouldn't think, it's just going to be some free money.
Or if they got it, fine, okay, you're holding my money, but then you should be able to spend it when you want to. You shouldn't have to call and get approval to spend your own money. Your own money. It's your money.
So yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. Now, if Schneider came down on their prices of what it costs to lease, and then if they added some perks to that would...
Or more loads.
Or more, yeah, definitely
That's
more
all
loads.
they really got to do. Give us the opportunity to make money.
Yeah. More loads, obviously.
Right? Yeah,
but lower the expense of that truck, because you're paying...
For that truck and then some.
And then some.
Yeah, when you buy that truck, they got 2 trucks.
Yeah.
And they're getting a deal on a truck where they got like 16,000 trucks. They got the hookup with Freightliner and all that stuff where that little sticker price you getting when it's in your little packet when you get your truck, that ain't what they paid. They ain't pay that. But you're paying that and then some, okay? So
what do you think?
I was going to say, because we knew these questions before the video, I was going to say, yeah, we should lease. But now, after I've done said all this stuff, oh my God, no, man, I don't think so. I think you got to look at your other options because, all right, here, I'm going to do some pros. It is good to get your feet wet to learn about how to operate a truck and be your own operator. I think it's a good start. Because they still hold your hand, like they got your money and you get to call them and they get the stuff fixed and they got a good network. You're not going to be stuck out there on the road. They'll get a towing company
after
you're going to pay it.
No, but you're on hold for 3 hours.
No, yeah, if you can get through, because especially on the weekend, good luck. Anyway, yeah, so it's a good to get your feet wet, but you got to have plans, and some people did it already. Shout out to that crazy guy. Shout out to Jeffrey. Like, a lot of people left in 404 trucker. Sorry about that. A lot of people left and grew their business. They or attempting to grow their business. And get your feet wet here. Get your education. Get out. Have a plan to say, okay, I'm just gonna kind of learn how to learn those freight lanes where the money's made. I should say where the more money is made. See, that's another thing. If you run a business, you shouldn't say, well, you have to run the Northeast. No, you don't.
No, because it's a business.
Exactly. You should be able to make freight anywhere. Yeah. I mean, there's all these companies out there. They ain't all running the Northeast, and they're very profitable. So if you're like, I have to run the Northeast, I have to have low expenses at home, and I have to have an old truck with no down, that's not, no. That's you're proving yourself that the business plan don't work.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. You shouldn't have to be
You shouldn't have to limit yourself.
Right, exactly.
At all.
Yeah, so you should be able to pull freight and make a good money and get to employees and get yourself more trucks and a building, a lot. I mean, look at all this stuff. When you start going to, like, say, an OC, or I remember one time I was at a train was going by. One of them long 3-4 mile trains. And it was nothing but Schneider boxes stacked, you know, the containers. And I'm just like, look at that money just rolling in. I mean, God, miles of just Schneider box. And it makes you think how big that company really is. And I pull up my paycheck and be like, damn. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna bleep something out because I gotta get, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to monetize this video, all right? And I ain't lying. So, you know, YouTube is funny like that, with the D word and everything. So anyway, that's our summary with the Schneider. If you have, put your opinion down there below. If you have any questions, email me. I know some people did already and I didn't get back to you. I've been working real hard. Future video coming up on that. But I really want to share this video with you, to share my honest opinion without my load board being turned off. Because if I did it on the road, I feel that's what would have happened. Yeah. They would have called me up or said something.
Or you know, we got a call, you have to turn in your
whatever.
Truck.
Or something like that. So I wanted to get my business done out there and then release this type of video. So this is the honest truth. This is what I feel about the program. I don't look down on anybody that's on the program. It is a good program to get your feet wet, but definitely have your plan B to get out of there. Get out of there, okay? There's better opportunities elsewhere. So that's gonna sum it up. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to check out Introvert Denier's channel. I'll leave you should know her, right? Y'all know her. The link is in the description below. Hopefully I'll pop it up right there as well. And thanks for watching. I'm Dre, of course. Introvert in Denial, EMIP TV's